Hello and welcome to Pet Watch, a monthly program about the Williamson County Animal Center. We have some special guests with us today. On my right is Claudia Parker, and she has her dog Jack with her. Good morning.
Good
and
morning.
Then we have Sandy Hall as well. And they are here to talk about the second annual Pawsome Gala, or Gala. But we want to make sure people know it's not formal. So even though we've named it that, it's not formal. But they are with the Friends of Williamson County Animal Center, which is a support group that helps the shelter. And what are some of the things the Friends of group does, Claudia?
Well, Friends of is really the nonprofit arm for the shelter that helps the shelter with any medical expenses that the county may not be able to pay for. They support us. They support the shelter in many ways, in public outreach, also
The new building as well.
The new building is
Right.
going to be kicked off with the gala on the day of the gala. There's going to be a vision board actually at the gala, so people can see what the new building is going to look like. And we do fundraisers like the gala. This is our second annual one, which is on March 28th. So we're hoping to raise not only funds but also awareness about Friends of, and that we're there to support the shelter.
You mentioned the special medical needs, and your
Yes.
dog Jack was a shelter dog who had a special medical need.
Yes,
That
he
was
did.
an orthopedic type surgery.
Yes, he had to have hip surgery, and without the aid of Friends, it probably wouldn't have happened. So,
And there are many stories that
yes.
people can read about on your website, friendsofwcac.org, and there they can also read about the gala. But there are animals that do come in with special needs that our veterinarian can't handle on a routine basis. And they often go to specialists. I know we've had some go for eye care to veterinary ophthalmology is now a subspecialty, and orthopedic surgery. So heartworm treatments, these things all cost a lot of money above and beyond the spay neuter and the daily care that they get at the shelter. So
Exactly.
so this is Friends of second year to do a big fundraiser, and this is really the biggest one you do. We had it last year and sold it out, and we had to move this year to a newer, bigger location. So we're going to be you're going to be at the factory, right?
At the factory in Franklin, yeah. So we actually, I guess we can say it was great. We were so successful with the last one that we wanted to increase our footprint by having it at a larger venue.
Right.
We're very grateful to the Barn of Sycamore Farms who hosted us last time, but our needs have grown, and so we're hoping that people will actually fill the huge Liberty Hall at the factory.
Yeah.
We're hoping for 400 to 500 people actually in attendance.
Wow.
So,
Okay. That's about 150 to more than we had last year. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was 250 at the barn, and
Okay, so
now
it
it's
could double
almost
it.
doubling.
yeah,
Doubling it.
That's
Yes,
great.
Yes.
So the night of the event, which is being presented by our presenting sponsor, Mars Pet Care,
Yes.
who is very friendly to the shelter and to Friends of, and does a wonderful job here in the community with many at their world headquarters and now here, and their nutrition center down in Thompson Station. So you may hear Mars, you may think candy, but think pet food. They are a worldwide pet food company as well. So we're very grateful to them for being the presenting sponsor that you all have gotten for this. And our other major sponsors, F&M Bank, here in town, right on the square in downtown Franklin, and Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Yes.
They say it's the vodka for dog people, so I believe them. So we are grateful to Tito's for that, and that they're dog lovers, enough of dog-loving company that they've had several fundraising events for us on a smaller basis, and we're glad to have them on board.
Absolutely.
Sandy has some options for businesses, and businesses can get involved by doing a sponsorship or buying an ad. So what is the price range for a business to get involved in the gala?
Sure. The sponsorships range anywhere from $250 to $7,500, but we are also doing a silent auction, so any smaller items would be very much appreciated.
And we produce a nice program the night of the event. So if your business wants to do a smaller donation, you can do $250 or $500 and get a page or half page in this nice program that
Yeah,
every
we
guest
have one.
that every guest will get. That's one we had last year.
Right.
And then individuals could buy a spot in the program
Absolutely.
and feature their pet if they want to.
Exactly,
And then on
yeah.
a larger scale, there are varying donation levels. You can buy a table. You can buy a table with some publicity attached. So if anybody's interested in the sponsorships, they can find that information on your website, right?
Right.
Okay.
Everything is there. You can purchase tickets there. You can purchase tables there. If you buy a table, it's a table consists of 10 seats. So you can also let us know, because a lot of people question, can I sit with a certain person? You know, so that's absolutely possible. You can do that when you purchase the tickets. You can indicate that.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can let us know, and we of course try our best then to accommodate all the different. We already had people say I'm a vegan, so or vegan. I think you say in English.
I say it wrong too. So
Yeah, so
Vegetarian,
vegetarian
beyond
meals,
vegetarian.
vegan, vegetarian. So we really want to know if you do have special needs
Sure,
like
sure.
that.
accommodate everybody,
Right,
and that's a very
right.
very accessible venue.
Right, exactly.
And also, you mentioned that Friends is part of the money from the gala will go to special medical needs, and part will go to behavioral, which is
Exactly.
a very special trainer that comes to the shelter and works with dogs.
Yes, we're very fortunate that we have that. And one of the programs that was initiated a couple months ago is Playing for Life, where a company, I believe they're based in California, came in and trained volunteers and staff so the dogs could actually go out into various play yards and
Together, so it's a play group.
It is
okay.
a play group, so which is really crucial for those dogs who either have not been socialized or in general have problems with other dogs, but they learn how to actually interact with other dogs.
And you know what's
during that
vital
play
about that
group.
is sometimes we think a dog is reactive. It's just
Right.
because they're stressed and they're in the kennel.
Exactly.
So getting them into a play
exactly.
group kind of reveals their real personality. And we
Absolutely.
are able to identify that they can play with other dogs. And that
Yes.
helps us when adopters come in. So we're grateful for Friends for paying for that training, which is now extended through our most highly trained volunteers and other staff members. And so if people come to the shelter and they see 4 or 5 dogs running around that tree, chasing each other, jumping over the bench, they're playing. They may look like they're playing rough, but if you have 2 dogs, you know that that's part of their personality.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they're playful. They're not being...
It reduces their stress level.
Yeah, they have a lot of stress
tenfold.
in this shelter.
Absolutely, yeah. That's really the key. So having that release in those play groups is huge.
And I see the benefit already because I just looked at the dogs by how long they'd been at the shelter.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there were more under 40 days than... There were only a couple that had been there a longer length of time.
that's
So
not to play with.
I think we're reducing the number of days the dogs are at
That's
the shelter because
fantastic.
we're learning more about them. And that's wonderful because the longer they're there, they can actually regress. They actually just can't take it anymore in the kennel. And you mentioned that part of the funds will go to a new building, and I want everybody to know if they come to the Pawsome Gala, they will see a vision board, as you mentioned, about the new shelter that is being planned by the county. By that time, there will be a rendering of the outside plus the blueprints of the inside. There's lots of exciting things there. And at the event, also, I think we may have a special celebrity dog appearance the night of the gala. And we'll have the silent auction and live auction. The silent auction items will be out for a certain amount of time. They'll be very selective. I think there'll be about 80 items this year. So there's lots of fun things. Some are animal related sometimes, and sometimes they're not.
Right.
And then in the live auction, there'll be a couple of high quality items like an experience or a trip. And then we'll also have some needs for the shelter,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we're calling
fund
that
a need.
Fund a need.
Right.
So we will say who will give this much money for a couple of kennels, to sponsor a kennel. So that's the kind of thing that will go on that night. And we hope, as you do, that the enthusiasm spreads once they see this new building, that they'll be like, oh, I
Yes.
want a
I
kennel.
want to be part of this.
I want to be
Yeah.
part of that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So everything we have now at the shelter will be newer, bigger, and better, and there'll be more of it. The new shelter is on the Mac Hatcher extension, and I was told the other day that we're probably only moving about less than 2 miles from where we are now.
So, yeah, it's
but
pretty
it
close.
was 2 miles into the future, let me tell you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Very exciting.
friends of us had input into the shelter because they are concerned about, as always, the welfare of the animals and having the best possible facilities, the best possible services. So we appreciate that, that Friends of us committed to that, as we are. I did mention our major sponsor is Mars Pet Care, and they will have representatives there that night. And if people need to learn more about what Mars does in the community and what products they offer for the animals, they do dog and cat food worldwide. So we're part of their pedigree dog food feeding project at the shelter. So that's a wonderful thing for us. And I want to stress again, it's not formal. It's
No.
just dress up, cocktail if you want to call it that. It's on a Saturday night this year. So we hope people will stay for, there'll be dinner, auction,
Live entertainment.
live entertainment, a band for
band.
dancing.
The
yeah,
Respectables.
the Respectables
Yes.
again. Okay, great band, and people do know
Yes.
them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I hope some people will hear us today and want to purchase a ticket at friendsofwcac.org. And I
Exactly.
thank you both for all your
you.
work.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
because
for having
We
us.
end up benefiting, and it's a wonderful thing to have you behind the project. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Pawsome Gala, which will be Saturday, March 28th at the factory, and you can get the tickets online at friendsofwcac.org. And I hope to see you at the gala.